I'm not well, I'm not. All I'm hearing this morning is people giving out. Stephanie Janisek, Jeremy Geeks and Gamers, Grumpy Jeremy, and EVS taking a long time to fucking say nothing except give out. That's my problem. That's the problem I face. They're not supposed to face that problem. They're supposed to get to the fucking point and move on. But they haven't moved on yet. They're still giving out about people who like The Last Jedi. I think they don't. I think they're treading water until the next set of waves. Like when this teaser for episode 9 drops, then they'll have something new to fucking focus on. But I can see why they're still complaining, because there's no new wave set. But you have to make your own fucking wave set sometimes. There's a scene in The Last Jedi where Rey and Kylo are fucking fingering each other. And Luke comes, I think he's in the middle of telling a story, I don't know. Luke comes and catches them. And blows the fucking, force blows the whole top of the chamber off, leaving a rising wall, leaving nothing but a rising wall. Generally, the geometry of the primary proxy server, the hi-hat, on the south coast of the peninsula. To the best of my knowledge, they didn't film there. Why was the shell blown off the chamber, leaving a relatively neat, relatively level, topped, rising wall? I bought an old copy of the New Testament. They're fucking. I have to do the same with the Old Testament, because I'm trying to find references in The Last Jedi to religions. I'm starting with Catholicism. Kylo Ren, his sword is a Crusader's sword. It's a long sword. It's like a Crusader sword. Also, the red cross, it's like the St. George's cross. It's the same, pretty much same proportions as the red cross that the Crusaders used to have or fight under. Rey in that hall of mirrors, it's like plank length. It was a quantum mechanics lesson. I said this at the start. Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. I said that at the start. In the beginning, there was a fart. Or as close to the start as is practicable that there's two things with The Last Jedi. Number one, it's a shit movie. Number two, it's a work of genius as an operation. Perhaps we must talk more about the shittiness of the movie. I don't think it's likely at this stage. It seems these boys are just going to keep going forever. But I don't think it's appropriate to discuss either interpretation of the movie in isolation of the other one. So I've broached this topic before, but I'm going to bring this in now in a more purposeful, clear-headed way. Because I would like if the Star Wars community had access to people who are talking, or had access to talk about The Last Jedi in a slightly different manner. If some people want to move on, I think some people want to move on. I want to move on. The kind of personalities aren't there for them. They're still stuck on not stuck on The Last Jedi. No, nothing wrong with that. Stuck on the face value, in a sense. Now they have moved in to the realm of Operation PSYOP in the last week. That's a step in the right direction. The big leap would be them entertaining the idea that there's useful information in that movie. I mean, Ivan fixed the movie. Ivan did his fix and stuff. He moved on practically. You know, like it's one thing, it's a different thing to tear TLJ a new ass when you're improving on it. Makes a big difference when you're improving on something. Big difference to your critique or criticism. It gives it more juice. That's not even what I want to say. I'm distracted by the music. Fucking love this tune. This is a Pogo, Yoda Yoda. This is a First Jedi Temple light sequence. Ignition sequence. Illumination sequence. Light sequence. Have to stretch me glutes and my lower back. Man, this thing. Nothing Star Wars ever does, ever will do, can equal this fucking album. These tunes to me, it's just, it's real. It's more real than the movies. When you can see something on the screen, you can see there's you can see that it's not real because it's on the screen. But when you hear something, it could be anywhere. It's not any one specific place. It emanates from somewhere. But there's no surface discernible in the same way that there is when something's on the screen. Yeah, I need to find parallels between The Last Jedi and some Irish lore, folklore. I'm going to have to get my hands on some old book of Irish folklore. Now, that writer dude, the guy who's part of the story group, tweeted that The Last Jedi was written before Force Awakens. Stephanie Janisek didn't seem to accept that that's what your man meant to say. Now, maybe she's right. Maybe she's not. But taking that statement for the moment at face value could very well have been written before The Force Awakens. Because I think what people are starting to get their heads around is that this could easily have been a major fuck up, like with the brakes off, where anything could have been the case, or a major operation that was not based around story, but based around business. $4 billion they paid for the franchise. Amazing Polly was talking this morning about a book that was written in 1943 about cartelization. And she's saying how this is going down now today. And just said something about they don't need to try and impress the customer anymore. They don't care about the customer because they have the customer. They've cornered the market. And I never really appreciated that as a concept before. It makes total sense. You take them for granted. It's, according to their model, it's not efficient. It's not efficient in any way, shape, or form to be focusing on the customer at a stage in your business's life cycle whose primary problems are not customer related, distribution related, and I don't know, threat related. Threat from, all sorts of fucking places. Governmental regulation, hostile takeover, governmental and intelligence interference, a whole bunch of things. Customer is not your primary problem according to their model. Now, we all know that that's the problem. Their model. But like the fella says, I wouldn't have started from here anyway. There's no point in fucking not dealing with the fucking problem, or no point in wishing there was a different model. There's not a different model. Spent my whole life wishing there was a better model or a different model, but this is the model. Maybe we can use, maybe it was even intentional, but maybe we can use the fact that Ryan Johnson and all these shitheads, who aren't doing it too much anymore, by the way, but for the last year were, what's the expression? I don't even know. Was that their attack? I think that was their them in full on assault, to be honest with you. Maybe that was their way of attracting attention. Excuse me. Trying to send us a message, like a hostage fucking situation. We are being held hostage by Bob Iger's nanny. A cry for help, if you want to look at it psychologically, because these people are messed up, more messed up than I am, and I'm messed up. But anyway, we can use that as a bonding structure, because that was them engaged, that was customer relations for these people. Well, that is how empires die. West Kerry is where empires go to die, and that's where the Last Jedi, that's where the Jedi came to die. I'm going to have to do this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get into drawing. I need to be doing something with my hands. I need to be like Anna Ahsoka, that Star Wars girl, or Ethan. It's like you need to be doing something, producing something. Just because no more than complaining about The Last Jedi on its own, instead of talking about the opportunity in mining that thing, like Ivan did. Instead of, in the same vein as just bitching about it or talking about what's wrong with it as opposed to what's right with it. It's not a full transaction. It's not a full transaction with yourself or with your fucking customers, your clients, your observers, your whatever. Or your, it's not a full transmission either. So I'm going to start next by drawing. What I'll do actually is I'll draw a storyboard. I'll draw out diagrams, maybe scenes, diagrams of the particular scenes to explain what I'm talking about, what could be mined from this movie. Because a lot of effort went into that movie, a lot of money. Production quality was wicked. So it's not waste. Like, do a ray on it, fucking scavenge it. We can scavenge that movie. I mean, it's already been done. Ivan did a great fucking job. Not many people followed his lead though, but that's okay. I'm one of those people who didn't follow his lead. But it's like, I'm doing it. It's just a real slow process. This song is fucking the heart and soul of Star Wars to me. Leia and Han. Can't touch those two. By the way, I would say the flying Leia scene, could have been fucking Leia. Could have been Carrie. Carrie Fisher could have fucking ordered that, or at least she'd be laughing at it. She has a funny sense of humor. I'm like slow reading the Princess Diarist, or A Princess Diarist. Can't remember, is it de or a? I don't know why it's taking me so fucking long. I bought that book, Leia by Claudia Gray, and I'm going through the whole thing, highlighting passages that are just the worst. That's my level of writing. School fucking kid writing. Prescribed, what's the... Prescribed, what's the term? This shows my linguistic dexterity, my vocabulary. It's just poor. It's probably suited to a different story. That writing. I don't know the woman. I'm sure she's a competent writer, author. But Leia, Princess Leia is Princess fucking Leia. Don't come with that watery fucking... That's not a Star Wars language. Man, actually, it just dawned on me. I need to figure out Arabic. I need to learn Arabic. Not learn the fucking language, but become familiar with the script. Treat it as a script. And just apply maybe like linguistic protocols from the development of Om to it. You have to know, first of all, if it says Rey on the side of the X-Wing fighter pilot's helmet that the character Rey wears and hides in TFA, and it says it in Arabic, and you don't know Arabic, you're missing something. There's probably a lot of shit like that people are missing. And there's lots of different fan types. There's lots of different ways to be a fan of something. So I could do that. I could find a new way to be a fan, or a way that's appropriate to me, but also not look to find a way to be a fan, but to cater for a certain type of fan. If there is a certain type of fan that requires or would like engagement, expression, interpretation, if there's a fan who could benefit from the story interpretation of Star Wars, well, then I can provide, or I can go search through and work through the story interpretation of Star Wars with that fan. That's a long time. That's 25 minutes to say fucking nothing again. But it's just rehearsal. It's rehearsal. As long as I treat it as rehearsal, it's okay. It's okay. Um, so waiting for the teaser trailer for episode 9. Interested in the chatter about hesitance to release at the same time as Mary Poppins. That's funny. That's interesting to me. Beyond a joke at this point. I don't even rate these fuckers. Honestly. How could you rate these people? There's nothing to rate with them. They just do what they do. Just mind them. I mean, I had all this. I know. This is so boring. My fucking theories about Star Wars Episode 8, Last Jedi, they stand. They're legit, but they're boring. And I think maybe that's probably, obviously, why, or partially why, there's still a lot of energy in the whole complaining about TLJ, because people are bored. Star Wars is boring people now. All of a sudden. Star Wars is boring people. Sniff test. Trousers from yesterday. And this morning. Oh man. So, when something's boring, like that, when something's boring like that, people go the way they've gone. They just start using their imagination, basically, different ways. Funny ways. Some people do funny shit. EVS is generally quite funny. Some people do the fucking donkey work, the fucking heavy lifting, like Ivan. Some people, like Stephanie Janicek, go deep into the arenas of philosophy, politics, lore, the deep shit, like princess or senator kind of level shit, like to use Star Wars, it is like a Padme or a Leia level of engagement. Now, she's not Padme, she's not Leia, but she's in the same arena. She could be poised to be a Padme or a Leia. Be honest with you, I don't know what the other side are doing. I don't know if they're doing anything. I mean, what even is the other side? Who are the other side? Controlled opposition, like, what are they? The controlled opposition, what are they? It's like, I don't know, it was one of them, Jeremy maybe, and Stephanie, between them, left channel, right channel, introducing the idea, which is basically what I've been trying to talk about for the last half an hour. The idea that it's okay to like The Last Jedi if you admit it's a shit film, or if you elucidate, elaborate, explain what you like about it. There might be 40 dudes out there doing that. But like, I generally get my Star Wars news from about half a dozen, from the fucking dirty half dozen, the fucking Phantom Menace, the boycott crew. They're so bulling for a fight that I think generally they trawl through the fucking, anytime any SJW fucking opens his mouth, blinks, they're on him. Abu Naz is on him. Or Grumpy Jeremy is on him. So it's kind of like scraping data. I don't need to. All I need to do is watch them. I don't need to watch the guys that they're watching. Now maybe I should be. Maybe I should check in every now and again. I don't know. What's the point? Like, well, they get flagged. Like, they are brought to my attention by the boycott crew. So maybe they're moving. I mean, here's the thing. It's not about moving on from the movie. It's moving on from your current analysis, current style of analysis. And that's good enough. I think we can leave it at that then. Like, especially since it came out, the idea was floated the last day that that movie was written before TFA. It's like, all right, the timeline is non-linear then. I mean, and like, that's the way it started anyway. I mean, it started with episode 4, 5, 6. The first episode, Med, was number 4, so it's not linear. And number 7 was a fucking repeat of fucking number 4. You got the fours. You got the fours. The fours awakens. The fours awaken. The fours awakens. And then you got the Tantive 4. IV. What is this shit? Fucking fours. So, with fucking The Last Jedi being written before The Force Awakens, it's like, we're never going to get, you're never going to finish this. It's not something to be finished. It's not modulated that way. It's like thinking of a fucking stop codon, a reset. Because it's context. We have to judge now episode 9 related to episode 8, because we don't know if fucking episode 8 was written first. When was episode 9 written? That could have been written before. Who knows? You trust these boys? Do you trust these boys? To tell you the truth, or to do it one way or the other way? Live streaming from the bog, lads. That is the beauty of 2018. So, in case anybody wants to say out here that was just The Last Jedi. That was just one time. It's the only movie that people regard as having wrecked the fucking franchise. Solo was a response to that. But fact is, this shit's been happening at scale since the start. Like I say, first one out, A New Hope, was number 4. So it's been going fucking non-linear. So understanding that, it's like, all right. In that case, we got to look at how episode 9 affects episode 8 and vice versa, because we don't know anymore how they were written, how they were meant to be put together. Now, maybe that's true. Maybe it's not. Maybe that was a bullshit leak. Part of Disney's fucking marketing strategy to get people to say this kind of shit. Which is, hold on a minute. Maybe we don't have this figured out. Maybe we jumped the gun. We spoke too soon. Maybe Lucasfilm we misunderstood them. No, fair enough. Do it. Do your little fucking dance. But we're taking it literally. The people who are listening, we're taking it literally. And the people who are scraping data and compiling, like myself, we're only interested in mining your fucking shit now. We don't. Here's the thing: they don't contradict each other. That's the best you're gonna get. No, I can't see the future, predict the future. Obviously, anything could happen. They might all love you in the fucking end. But here's the thing. Star Wars Resolution is what's on the table. And Resolution is so far out of your comfort zone that you can't even conceive of it. You're not going to want it. You don't want it. So you go down. And we follow you down. Escort. I'm doing all my dirty work on camera. Oh boy. What else? Nothing else now left to do really except what I said I need to do, which is basically copy Anna Soka. Copy Anna. Copy Ivan. Do you know those 5 or 6? It's remarkable how they're all creative. Abu Naz with his rap. Stephanie with